It is. It's really tough to go and have to find someone in there.
Firefighters say they have an idea of what may have caused a house fire that killed 2 people in Morgan County today.
Why dozens of bottles of bourbon stolen from a Central Kentucky distillery but later recovered will likely be destroyed.
How a Good Samaritan's act of kindness helped a Central Kentucky business and earned her some rewards.
This is WKYT News at 11.
And good evening. Neighbors report hearing an explosion before seeing a Morgan County home in flames. And inside, firefighters say they found 2 people dead.
Tonight, we are learning more about the investigation. Firefighters were called to a home on Rockhouse Branch Road in the Wrigley community late this morning. Garrett Weimer talked to the fire chief there. He has the latest in our top story at 11.
The volunteer fire department here in Wrigley is just about a mile away, but firefighters say when they got to the home, there was nothing they could do. It was nothing short of a tragedy out this rural road in Morgan County, the kind of thing that's tough even for veteran firefighters to see.
It is. It's really tough to go and have to find someone in there.
The fire chief says a neighbor called 911 after hearing an explosion. It didn't take long for the fire to turn the place into a pile of rubble and ashes. The home had collapsed by the time firefighters got there.
No, there was nothing we could do but just cool it down some. The whole thing was already on the ground.
Chief Patrick says a wood-burning stove may be to blame, but it's hard to tell because so little is left behind. He says a woman, and who he believes is another family member, died in the fire.
We finally got extinguished the fire, and the fire investigator got there, and we found them, 2 of them.
But what makes it all so troubling? Patrick says they found the woman in her wheelchair, unable to get out after the home caught fire.
I think it just, it had gotten on fire, and she was unable to do anything and just trapped.
Investigators say they do not believe the fire is suspicious. In Morgan County, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Morgan County Coroner Raymond Van Cleve tells us he doesn't expect to be able to release the victims' names until tomorrow afternoon.
Today, President Obama unveiling his plan to curb gun violence in America, and he says he is not going to wait on Congress to act. Through executive actions, the president wants to require gun dealers, including those at gun shows and online, to be licensed and to conduct background checks. Right now, about 40% of gun sales have no background checks. President Obama also wants to increase funding for mental health care and to hire more ATF agents. But that would require approval from Congress.
So the gun lobby may be holding Congress hostage right now, but they cannot hold America hostage.
Many Republicans spoke out against the president's plan, including Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell of Kentucky. He called the president a weak commander-in-chief who's more focused on hurting rights to bear arms instead of fighting terrorism. And we reached out to some gun store owners here in Central Kentucky to get their reaction to the president's plan. Bud's Gun Shop and Range in Lexington will not be directly affected because it's already a federal firearms licensed company. Everyone who tries to buy a gun from that company already has to pass a background check first. But company leaders say they are not sure if the president's plan will be successful.
I have doubts that, some of the efforts will have the intended results. But I do understand, kind of like a business, if you are not exactly sure what to do, you need to do something and then evaluate the results later.
Other gun shop owners say they wanted a few days to look over the president's plan before commenting to us. Our poll question on WKYT.com asks, should the president take executive action on gun control? 23% of you said yes, 77% said no.
Now to a developing international story that we're tracking for you tonight. Within the last hour, North Korea claims it has conducted a successful hydrogen bomb test. Earlier tonight, seismic activity was detected near one of the country's test sites. It is the first time in nearly 3 years that North Korea has conducted such a test. New tonight, it appears more than 24 bottles of rare bourbon stolen from a Central Kentucky distillery will be destroyed. Investigators say the bottles have passed Pappy Van Winkle were stolen from Buffalo Trace Distillery in Frankfort as part of a theft ring in 2013. Police later recovered the bourbon. Franklin County Sheriff Pat Melton said he had hoped it would be auctioned off for charity, but he told us the Van Winkle family fears the bourbon could have been tampered with or contaminated, so the sheriff says the family wants the 28 bottles to be destroyed as a precaution.
It's going to be another cold night, but those temperatures will begin warming up just a little tomorrow. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell has an early look at the forecast. Good evening, Jim.
And good evening to you. And you're right, we will see a little bit of a warm-up coming our way starting with tomorrow, but we have to get through another pretty tough night tonight with those upper teens, low 20s. Right now already showing up at 27 degrees here in Lexington with Frankfort at 22. So they're within striking distance of already getting into the teens. So we're going to watch that cold air really barrel into the area through the overnight hours. No moisture, so that means no snow, because that's exactly what will be falling if we had any moisture streaming through the skies here. Generally a clear and quiet night expected through the entire area. We'll check it out hour by hour. Look tomorrow morning. There you see the teens. We get through the morning into the daytime hours. Temperatures will naturally climb. And as they do, I think we end up in the low, maybe a few mid-40s in parts of our area. But generally, a normal looking day. I mean, we're cold in the morning, but during the daytime hours, it's right around normal. The warm-up continues toward the end of the week as well with some low 50s. I will track those as well coming up in just a few minutes.
It is the first SEC road trip of the season for the UK basketball team, and tonight they played at LSU.
And the Tigers gave the Cats a tough game. Rob Bromley joins us now with some of the highlights. Rob?
Not many highlights. It was an uphill battle tonight all the way in Baton Rouge, Kentucky and LSU. And John Calipari's team got a huge break because Ben Simmons was on the bench in the first half with 2 fouls. Tigers forge ahead. Tim Quarterman the slam. LSU up by 14. Isaiah Briscoe helps bring Kentucky back. On the drive, the basket and the foul cut the lead to 12. Just before the half, Tyler Eulis knocks down a 3, made it a 10-point game at halftime. Into the second half, LSU comes up with the ball. Quarterman getting it down court to Simmons. LSU by 10. Jamal Murray scored 10 straight. Kentucky got as close as 4, but a lot of careless play. Cats turn the ball over. Victor comes up with a steal. Lay in at the other end. Tigers by 10. It has been LSU's night. Late in the half, it is 81-65. Tough night for the Wildcats. They will drop to 11-3, finding out what life is like on the road in the SEC.
All right, Rob, thanks so much. Switching gears now, it is a random act of kindness that one Harrison County flea market owner says went a long way. She says the door to the business opened after a lock fell off overnight.
But as a surveillance video shows us, a woman walking by made sure that business stayed secure. New at 11, Monique Blair talks to the Good Samaritan and the business owner.
Christmas may be over, but for one Cynthiana woman, the giving season is not.
And she kind of scooped in and saved the day.
Tuesday morning, Tabitha Long went to the JB Missions Flea Market and Community Outreach Store in Cynthiana because she had her eye on a ring she wanted to buy. But when she got to the store, she found out it was closed, but at some point the lock had fallen off and the door was open.
So I was trying to think of different ways that I could get it back together where nobody could come in and steal anything, because that's what I was mostly concerned about.
Owner Brenda Packard came to open her store and noticed someone had taken it upon themselves to lock the doors.
Taken a shoestring off her person and tied the door together with it, and then tied a trash can to the door. There was no opening this door.
Packard watched the surveillance footage, and after watching many people walk by the open doors, she saw it was Tabitha who saved the day.
Yeah, we just really appreciate what she did for us. It's great. I told her we have an opening for security, so, you know, if she ever needs a job, she knows where to come.
In Cynthiana, Monique Blair, WKYT.
We need more people like that. The business owner gave Long that ring she wanted, along with a shopping spree for helping out.